What's going on, guys? This is RV Shaggy and Jesse, and we're in Redding, California, and we just had a beer with Wanderlust Estates. Woo!
Oh, the day I break these chains, I'm bound for the life of the simple things.
Weight Loss Wednesday, 90-day challenge I got going on with Eric over there at Nomadic Fanatic. See where I am, let you know how it's been this week. I first got to admit, I kind of fell off the wagon a little bit this week. In Eric's video early this morning, as you can see here,
he's doing really well and he's getting fit. I actually do feel a lot better. My cravings are really minimal lately.
No one can resist the urge of overindulging.
It's possible to make these lifestyle choices and you're doing well. It does look delicious. Maybe just one bite? I can handle it.
That's what she said. Nothing?
Maturity, demon.
You guys are wusses. I'm gonna go bug James instead.
You have a good head on your shoulders. Keep up the good work and ignore the haters. Thanks, creepy angel. So did I lose any weight this week?
he sent over his demon self to mess with me and my weight loss objectives. And it manifests itself as my college buddy Ivan from way back in the day. I hadn't seen the guy in 10 years. We ate all kinds of food all over the place, went over to Mexico, drank a lot of beer, had a lot of Jack Daniels. Oh man, he picked up some stuff called Gentleman's Reserve or Gentleman's Blend. That stuff is super smooth, and so we did some catching up, and I fell off the wagon for about 3 days, and then I got right back on it. I still managed to get in my miles, my hiking miles. I believe it was 42 miles this week, and today is still Wednesday, so I intend to do another hike today. I was really trying to get that into 50 miles this week. I don't know if I'll do that. I got a pretty busy day today, so we'll find out how that all plays out, but I still managed to get 42 miles in. I had 43 miles, I think, from last week, so that gives me a total of 85 miles in the month of January. So I'm doing really good there. I think that's got me pretty much right on the pace I need to end up making sure I get at least that 2,020 miles of hiking / walking in this year. So Hugh Jackman is the guy that played Wolverine in the movie set that we saw not too long ago, and he had used intermittent fasting paired with a specialized and planned diet, and you know what would be called an HIIT weight training program, and the guy just blew up like a beast. I'll see if I could find a picture to show you, but I feel like it's really done some special stuff on me too, so I have to say that I'm not surprised, and I'm not really doing any kind of special stuff with food yet, because I'm figuring after this round I want to go and try to get some abs after 40 sort of thing. So I have this goal where I want to get ripped by 43. I'm 41 now. It's taken me 2 years to get to this point, and so I figure, heck, another 2 years out, well, not quite 2 years, but you get the drift. I hope to be in just as good of a shape as I was when I was playing football. So that's my personal goal set. A little bit about what's been up this week. We're gonna go in here, we're gonna get our weigh-in, we're going to get our measurements, and I'm gonna take us some pictures, I think, to post and see how all that flows. So yeah, and for those of you guys that you know, have kind of been listening, but maybe weren't so sure about this intermittent fasting thing. And, you know, you saw that Eric over at Nomadic Fanatic, we had been recently, we'd had a chat with him, and I gave him my intermittent fasting secrets, and looks like it did pretty well for him from some pictures I saw him post on Facebook. You should probably go check that out. Now, intermittent fasting, when I started it over 2.5 years ago now, a lot of people were making fun of me, intermittent starvation, da 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 da, but I got all these friends that have watched what I've done with it, and now they're doing it and having incredible results too. I started off with 16 hours fasted. Now you get to count the time that you're asleep as part of those fasting hours. And then only in 8 hours did I allow myself to eat. And I even did it more restrictive in what's known as time restricted eating. So I made sure that I only allowed myself to eat within daylight hours. And then once the sun set, I no longer let myself eat. So that matches for humans. We're supposed to be nocturnal, and so that's supposed to have a benefit, a little bit more of a benefit than just intermittent fasting.
So here I am in the front, and I'll go ahead and show the first week, the second week, and then now here. So here's now frontal view. Here we are on the side. Show it like this too. I guess first week I showed both. Let's see, we do that too, so that it's equal. But anyways, there we are. You guys will have to tell me how it compares to the first, second, and now third week into this. Guys, so as you can see here, pretty much all of my measurements went in the same direction as they did last time. No change in my neck, both my arms, my legs, my calves, all that stuff kind of increased in size. Chest went down a little bit more than last time. The actual upper arm grew. I'm really kind of surprised at how much that was. I'm really surprised at how much my legs have been growing. I guess, you know, all that hiking and growth hormone from the intermittent fasting plays a big role. I'm really happy to see that I've lost even more across my belly button. The first week was like 1.25 inches. This time around it was still 3/4 of an inch. We're at a total of 2 inches off around my belly button. Really neat to see. All right. So looks like we're at 231. Well, might be cheating a little. Let's go make sure that's okay. Yeah, I like that better. All right, so we're at 200 here, and it looks like 32.5 pounds. Here's a nice problem to have there, guys. I'm way out of my belt loop. I'm gonna have to poke more holes in the belt. Good problem to have. Now that I'm done with all that weigh-in and measurement stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you guys about intermittent fasting in general. So there's a lot of different camps about fasting, and what it all boils down to is there's some hormonal changes that go on that can't just, where the weight that's lost can't just be explained away by basically reducing your calorie intake. And the biggest ones really are the fact that it spikes growth hormone, and growth hormone helps you protect the muscle that you have. So when you're losing your weight, you lose far less muscle than you would by calorie restriction alone. Also, even bigger is the fact that while you're in a fasted state, it pushes the amount of insulin in your blood down. And when that happens and insulin goes down below basal level, you end up releasing triglycerides, which are that fat that's stored in all of those fat cells that are in your gut for energy. And without that insulin falling down to basal or lower, what goes on is your body has a really hard time utilizing that fat, because insulin doesn't just cause a response to sugar uptake. It actually does it for fat as well, protein as well, and it doesn't allow a cell to go ahead and release that fat. So there's some miraculous research about prolonged fasts in the 3 to 5 day range. For about 5 days, the longer you fast until about that 5th day, you continually have more and more growth hormone released, okay? And that growth hormone is pretty powerful stuff. First of all, you know, like we already said, it protects your muscle mass. Second, you can actually gain more muscle, which utilizes a greater amount of energy. So, and then third, something really interesting goes on with the growth hormone. It actually makes the stem cells, the cells that can become anything in your body, start dividing. And so they start replacing other cells. And a process goes on where the bad cells in your body, the ones that are tired or broken, something's wrong with them, they get swallowed up in what's called autophagy, self-eating. And that process is driven heavily during fasts. Now, another really interesting thing about fasting is the first 48 hours of fasting, your metabolism actually goes up completely in contrary to everybody's opinions in the past. And so it just makes it so powerful. And one of the most miraculous things about fasting, but is dangerous, so do remember that, is dry fasting. Dry fasting would be not taking in food or water, no drink at all. And so during that process, there's a Nobel Prize winning paper, and it showed that's probably the only way your body can actually destroy fat cells. Otherwise, you just shrink them. You take the fat out of them and make them smaller. And I haven't got into dry fasting. There are some folks that are really promoting it out there. I think it's a bit dangerous. If you are gonna do any of that kind of dry fasting, make sure that you're not exercising as well. But the reason why it's so powerful is your body, when you're in a dry fast, it needs water still. And so it makes the water. We call it metabolic water. And so it takes the fat in those cells and breaks it up to make water for your body. Now, having given Eric all of my intermittent fasting secrets, I'm a little nervous to see his weigh-in. He might end up kicking my butt. We'll have to see. Actually, I hope he does fantastic, because if you see this comment right here, I would love to see Eric have blasted off and really did great this week. So this guy, this troll number one, we'll call him. I'm gonna start numbering the trolls. I can't wait for him to have to shovel some of that crap back into his mouth, if you know what I mean. Get out there, connect with people, live your big story, and make sure you do something every single day to reduce world suck. Peace, guys.